who introduced you? What was the condition before you got on X39? And then what happened with that tick-borne illness and what happened as a result of wearing X39? Tim Williams, thank you, sir.
Hey Joe, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, all right. I didn't know if I was on or not. Uh, Thanks for having me on Patch Like a Champion. I appreciate the opportunity
Yes,
to
sir.
share what has happened to me since I've been wearing this X39 patch. I'll tell you, it's remarkable. I Back in 2019, I was actually on a layover in Hawaii, and went to bed that night. Woke up the next morning with a tick stuck on my side, and the next morning pulled I started pulling on it. I didn't know what it was, and I pulled on it, and when I turned the light on and looked down, I found that it was a tick. And um, didn't think anything about it. But 3 weeks later, I'm at home and I wake up, and that morning I felt like I was very lethargic and just didn't have any energy. I made my way into the living room, sat down on the couch, watched a little TV. And then when I went to get up, I had no strength in my feet. I couldn't get up off the ground. My wife comes in and says, "Hey, what's going on in here? What are you doing? Usually you're out working on a car or doing something by now." And I told her, I said, "Look, there's something wrong with me. I can't get up." And she thought I was kind of joking with her. And when she realized I was serious, she said, let's go and get you into the doctor." So she helps me out to the car. We get into the doctor, and the doctor says, he starts going over, have you had, been anywhere unusual? Have you changed your diet? Help me here, Tim. There's something that's caused this. And he says, "Come on, think. In the last few weeks, have you done anything that's out of the ordinary or been anywhere?" And I said, "Man, the only thing out of the ordinary that I can think of is back a few weeks ago. I was in Hawaii on a layover and I got bit by a tick, but that wouldn't have anything to do with my energy or me not being able to get up." He goes, "You got bit by a tick?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm going to test your blood now." So he pulls the blood and sends me home. And the next day he calls me and he says, he's come into the office, and I got to go over some things. And my mom had just passed away with cancer, and I said, "Please tell me it's not cancer." He said, "Well, it's not cancer, but I do need to talk to you." And so he started going over everything. When I got to the office, he said, "Have you heard of Lyme disease?" And I said, "Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it." And he said, once you have it, the only way you can get it is from a tick bite. And once you have it for life. And my best friend has it, he said. And he said, "I want you to get in to see his doctor." And he referred me over to his friend's doctor. I got in to see her, started getting all these injections of, I can't remember what it was they gave me now. But anyway, they were giving me injections, and it didn't seem to be working. I was sick every month for a couple days, 2 or 3 days a week. I would get sick, and then one day, this was years later, 2023. I got a phone call from Carl Firestone, and Carl says, he already knew I was sick. He had been on Facebook, and my wife had posted that I was sick again that week, and he calls me up and he says, "Hey Tim, how you doing?" I go, "Carl, I'm sick again this week. I keep getting sick over and over with this Lyme thing that's going on, and I just don't know what to do." And he says, "Well, man, I think I found something that might help you." I said, "What is it?" And he said, "Man, it's these X39 patches." I said, "Carl, are y'all selling? Is this another network thing you're into?" I just don't want to do another network thing. And he says, "Well, man, it is, Tim, but don't discount the product because it's a network marketing program." He said, "We're really onto something here." He said, "I tell you what, I'm going to send you some of these things. I just want you to try it and just see if it works for you." I said, "Well, if you send me some, I'll try them, but I probably won't buy any." So anyway, long story short, he sends me some. I start wearing them. The first week, I didn't really feel anything. 3 days into the next week, I woke up one morning, when I woke up, I felt like there was all this energy in my body, and I said, "Man, what is this? Couldn't be those patches." And the next day, the same thing. I woke up, I felt amazing. I'm like, man, this is something. Maybe it is the patches. I don't know. The third day, this is a week and 3 days, okay? The third day, I wake up and man, the energy, I felt great. I felt like I did before I got sick. And I told my wife, I said, honey, wake up. I feel amazing. She's like, what's wrong? I said, nothing. I just feel great. I think those patches are working. And so I said, I'm going to call Carl and order some. So I call Carl Firestone up and I go, hey, Carl, this is Tim Williams over in Houston. He goes, hey, Tim, how you doing? I said, man, Carl, I feel amazing. He goes, it's the patches. They work, buddy, don't they? I said, yeah, I feel great. And so he said, you got to order some? I said, yeah, I am. And so back then they called it the Diamond Pack. It's the premium pack that we sell now. And I told him, I said, I'm going to buy some, but I'm probably not going to sell them. I just want to make sure I have enough to last me for a while in case this thing goes out of business or something. He laughed. He said, they're not going to go out of business. They've been around for a long time. So long story short, I started putting the patches on. I mean, I've been wearing them for, let's see, I signed up February 27th of 2023 and I've been wearing them since then. I have not been sick one time with Lyme symptoms at all. And I tell you, it's been an amazing ride. I feel great. I give them away at work, and people call me up wanting to buy more patches. My Lyme disease is gone. My doctor even signed up. I couldn't believe it. He just couldn't believe the results that I got when he called me. I called him up one day. I said, "Hey, I need to come in. I think my Lyme disease is gone." He says, "Oh no, it's not gone. Once you have Lyme disease, it's always in your blood. We'll find it. Come on in. We'll do your blood work." So I went in and he pulled my blood work. And the next day calls me up. He says, "Hey, I need you to come back in. I need something's not right." And I go, "Is everything okay?" He goes, "Well, just come in and we're going to pull your blood again." They pulled it again, sent it off, and the next day he calls me up. He goes, "Man, Tim, you got to come in and see this. The results, the Lyme bands, to have Lyme disease, you have to have 4 to 5 bands of Lyme in your blood. And mine, I was down to like 1 or 2 bands left, and they were so weak that they weren't even affecting my body any longer. So it was amazing. It's like I say, these patches are really something else. They don't heal, treat, cure anything, but what they do is they restart those sleeping stem cells in your body. And your body, once those stem cells reset and restart, they start fixing and repairing everything in your body. It's really remarkable what we're seeing. Joe, that's my testimony, man.
Wow, that's
Yeah, man, it's
fantastic.
been awesome.
It's defying logic, isn't it? The
It's
doctors are
crazy.
baffled. Yeah, I
It
love hearing
is.
that.
It's great to have my doctor on my team too.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah,
Tim Williams, thank you, sir. What a fantastic testimonial.
thank you.
Wow.